Hey everyone, my name is Miguel and thank you so much for clicking on the video. Today we are going to be taking a look at a very interesting offering from a Swiss watch brand by the name of Franck Dubarry. This specific watch is called the Deep Ocean model, and it offers the juxtaposition between old and new technology, and it also captivates the environmental angle when it comes to saving the oceans via the recycled materials to manufacture both the watch straps and the use of recycled stainless steel to manufacture their cases. Now, this is definitely captivating and intriguing. However, is this watch any good and is it worth the $895? Well, let's explore this watch together and I will tell you the positives, the negatives, and ultimately give you my opinion on whether this is a good value proposition. So stick around to the end. So usually I start my reviews with the specs, but today let's jump into the NFT portion of the watch. You see on the case back of the watch we find a character inspired by tribal worlds and sci-fi universes, Star Wars, depicted in pop culture. The Hipporium collection, that's what they call the collection with different colors, portrays a hippo space traveler. Now he's traveling from metaverse to other worlds, and it offers a unique ownership experience coming with exclusive benefits both in metaverse and in real life. Each one of these watches from this collection comes with a complimentary NFT. So after you purchase a watch, you will receive your watch, of course, and a link to access your free NFT in your watch packaging. I still don't fully understand this NFT concept, but that's a cool incentive nonetheless. The case of the watch is made up of recycled stainless steel, and the finishing is done very well. We find brushing, we find polishing throughout, and protecting the screw down crown and bezel crown are pieces of recycled plastics to tie in with the overall theme. I can't even begin to describe the shape of the case as it's anything but traditional. It definitely has that AP vibe to it, and that's not by coincidence. You see, Dominique Renaud is actually one of the watchmakers at Dubarry that used to work at, you guessed it, Audemars Piguet. So no coincidence there. The dimensions of the watch are as follows. The case measures in at 42 millimeters. It's actually 54.3 millimeters from lug to lug. It's 13.6 millimeters thick, weighs in at 139 grams, and the strap measures in at 24 millimeters and it tapers down to 20 millimeters at the buckle. Protecting the dial is an anti-reflective triple-layer sapphire crystal, and you could see that blue hue when the light hits it. The presence of the dial is very evident as it occupies most of the 42mm case due to the lack of that external rotating bezel. It does, however, have a bidirectional friction-based bezel that's operated by a crown located at the 10 o'clock position. I typically don't care much for these types of bezels since I always accidentally end up rotating the crown with my wrist, but I don't know how many people are actually going to go diving with this, so take it for what it is. The enamel dial has applied numerals that all have different sizes, and we also find some writing on the dial along with a cool silhouette of the free diving champion David Carrera located right next to the open hard aperture. Now, this dial is definitely different, and I personally appreciate originality. I mean, look at those semi-skeletonized hands. I never really seen that execution before. Have you? The lume can be found on the hands, indices, and bezel. The lume is good but not great. This watch, thanks to its 300 meters of water resistance and diving bezel, obviously is considered a dive watch, so as such it should have better lume. Here's a little comparison with the Jeannaut silent service. You be the judge. The watch definitely looks and wears big on my 6 7/8 inch wrist at 17.43 centimeters. However, I will say that this FKM rubber nylon strap contraption they made is honestly, without a doubt, one of the best in terms of construction and wearability that I've actually experienced. Even the construction and finishing on the stainless steel buckle is incredible for the price point. Of course, the icing on the cake is that the nylon on top of the FKM is actually made from recycled fishing nets. Another feature that can use some improvement is the movement. This watch features the Miyota 82S0 caliber. Now this movement is accurate to -20 plus 40 seconds per day. It beats at 21,600 beats per hour, has a power reserve of 40 hours. In my opinion, if this watch had a 9000 Miyota series movement or a Salida movement, it will be ideal, but you know, even more expensive watches, as I've talked in previous videos, feature 8000 Miyota movement, so you know, that's that. Now, let's cover some of the positives and some of the negatives of this watch. So let's start with the negatives. So what are the negatives? Size of this watch. As much as I like this watch, it's a little big for my smaller wrists. Second, the lume. I'm a huge lume junkie and I need more. Lastly, the movement. As previously mentioned, I would prefer a Miyota 9000 series or a Sellita movement. On to the positives then, the uniqueness of the watch. This is unlike any other watch on the market. Sure, it takes homage, from here and there, but honestly, very unique, very different. The construction and finishing is top notch, and when I'm telling you that buckle on that strap is good, it's really good. And just the finishing overall is really good. Lastly, the humanitarian aspect of the watch. I know using recycled materials in a small batch of watches is not going to perhaps make a huge impact in the world, but it's more about the message it delivers and it contributes to a solution, not a problem. Overall, the quality was better than I expected, the case finishing is executed very well, and the strap is very comfortable. The NFT, of course, is a cool touch that will give you some street cred with the crypto crowd. And I also think this watch is priced fairly. I would recommend it to someone that's feeling adventurous. Thank you all so much for the support, and if you're interested in buying this watch, there's a link in the description. I don't get a kickback, but I do get to keep this watch. Transparency is part of this channel's core values. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share this video with your friends and other watch enthusiasts. Let's get this channel to 10,000 subscribers, please. Anyway, take care and stay humble.